We all know Murder Drones, right? Even if you've never heard of it, watch this video anyway. Now, there are a lot of characters in the show, and some are way better than others. So today, I'll be ranking every character from Murder Drones. I'm going to start off from worst to best, and I'll give somewhat good reasons for most of the characters. Alright, to start, I'll go with Bo at the very bottom. I hate Bo. Watch this video for the full explanation. After Bo, I'm kinda cheating, but it's basically every human that had some sort of role or speaking part in episode 5. They were just really weird and I hated them. After them is Alice. She was super psychotic, so yeah. And then after her, I'll go with Lizzie. A lot of people like Lizzie, but I don't know, she kinda sucks to me. And I'm not into characters that are blatantly rude without a good plot. Lizzie, for example, is just an asshole. I'm not sure if this one should even count, but next I'll go with Spacesuit Tessa. She obviously isn't Tessa, we know that, but I don't know. I never liked her to begin with. She was really rude. After that, I'll go with Sin. Obviously, this is an unpopular opinion, but I hate Sin. Her personality is really freaky, and her design enhances that a lot. Sure, Sin has a pretty unique design, but that doesn't really mean it's good. I did, however, like Sin in episode 5, but a lot of that probably has to do with her design in Home. Following Sin, I suppose I'll go with Eva. She's not really a bad character, but she has 2 minutes of screen time and doesn't even speak a single word. Next, I'll go with the Teacher. He was actually really funny with how nonchalant he was throughout the whole series, but yeah, he doesn't really do anything either. So after him, I'll go with Nori. Her lore is, I don't know, it's kind of interesting in episode 7, but it was pretty uncanny watching this little crab thing run around and put up a decent fight against Sin. This one's also a pretty unpopular opinion, but next I'll go with Doll. She was a really good antagonist, and she was really good in the prompting. I think I stand with everyone when I say that Doll's death was terrible, even though I did like the moments leading up to the actual death. But now I have to go with the man, the myth, the legend, Thad. Some would say Thad isn't that good of a character, but I disagree. I think his purpose is served pretty well, that being the random cool guy that doesn't actually do anything. Thad's obviously a comic relief type of character, in which no rational person would actually hate. I see the appeal over Lizzie in terms of plot, but Lizzie's just evil, so she gets knocked down a lot of points. With all that said, let's move on to the next character, that being Tessa from episode 5. Tessa has a pretty positive and energetic personality in Home, which is a big contrast from the fake Tessa we see later in the series. Her story is short but pretty sad, and there's not really much to say about Tessa, so I don't know, let's just move on to Khan. Khan's just, well, he's Khan. He's a really interesting character and actually has good development, kind of at least. Starts out being absolutely disgusted that Uzi, his daughter, has anything to do with the Murder Drones, let alone befriend them. And even though I don't think he ever really begins to like the Murder Drones, Khan definitely accepts Uzi more. At least I hope he did, but maybe I'm just delusional. Both opinions are completely feasible, honestly. Yapping aside, let's move on to Jay. I could go on and on about Jay. I could even make a whole video about her, but because I don't want to bore anyone with a bunch of yapping they've likely already heard, I'm just gonna yap about Jay's actual good writing. Jay has that rude leader type of personality, but she has a fun side too. But following Jay, I'll go with V. In my opinion, V might have had the most character development in the entire series. Just a disclaimer, I know in the short I said that N had a lot of character development and probably the most in the series, but that's completely wrong. I don't know why I said that when I said that V had the most character development in this video, so I have no clue what happened there. V starts out pretty similar to Jay and really has it out for all the worker drones. It does take a while, but V does finally warm up to Uzi and Mass Destruction right before she had her off-screen superhero death. I think V could have been better, and an extra episode in the middle of the series would help that a lot. And that episode would basically just be a Murder Drones intermission, a near-perfect fan episode that actually sets up episode 5 while allowing for Uzi and V to have some really good character bonding. Speaking of Uzi, she's actually up next. Uzi's dynamic with N is just the best, but I would have liked to see her interact with V and J more. Since I'm not going to be ranking any of the random characters or variants of characters, that leaves me with one more guy, that being N. What can I say? I like N. His optimism is really great in comparison to Uzi and V. And although he doesn't have that much character development, N is still, without a doubt, the best character. Yeah, that's basically it. I really don't want to yap about all the random students and such, so there's really no one else to do. I'd really like to see everyone's opinions, so leave a comment down below and tell me what you think of my list. Bye now.